Ooh, we're live. What's the beef? Episode 34, the Chef Fit Podcast. Own your failures in order to succeed, you fucking lunatics. We're in. Peter.
Hosted by the devil himself, Cam Higgs.
Yeah, the pedo worshipper. That's not
You were literally called the devil twice yesterday by two different people. How does that make you feel?
Feels fucking good, man. Feels good.
Is that what you were going for? You want people to go,
Sith Lord, the Dark Lord himself. Why is that, I wonder? Why is that? Maybe
that is because we have a weekly challenge this week and it's team-based, lads. So we've been split up into two teams. One is called the Villagers and the other one is called the winning team that's going to win the challenge because the GOAT's in charge. So we have chippers which have been in our training program before. You basically get between 50, 100, 150 reps of 3 different exercises, and you chip away at it and get your time down. The quicker the time, the better the chipper.
Yeah.
So, for example, you could have burpees, TRX, and RDL, and you would have to do 150 of each of them, and that means that you have to do 150 burpees, for example, or all of them 3. So it's 450 reps, and now it's a team. So because it's split up into the teams, we're more vocal to each other about how we're getting on during the day. And everybody's like, Jesus Christ, I don't think I can do this anymore. People waking up today going, oh no, it's not burpees again today, is it?
I did it the couple of months ago when I had it in the program, because obviously like with the Chef Fit program, like the path works in a way where everything is simplified, but I'll change the program every 4 weeks. So we're constantly progressing, change. And we'll keep it varied, but every couple of months we'll add chipper workouts in, as Peter's just described there. I remember a couple of months ago when I think it was a Friday, and I was like, yeah, fuck it. Because obviously I'll do my own training, but the odd time I'll do actually what I program for the lads. And I remember jumping into the advanced chipper one day, and I went upstairs in a fly fit gym, got an open space, and I hit the live video button. I was like, I'm going to fucking absolutely destroy this chipper. And I was halfway through and the alarm bells were already ringing. Fuck, man, what the fuck have I done to myself? You know, burpees, legs are going under me. My arms were going on the fucking rows. And the longer you leave it, the worse your time is going to be. And the fact that you're competing, it's like, fuck, man.
Yeah. And because we're in a team now as well, and we're all putting up our times as they're coming in. Totally. So we all have, the first day we didn't have much of a benchmark. So there's one guy who was on the intermediate and he put up his times. And I was like, do you know what, pal, you can actually do an awful lot better than that. I said, good effort, well done, you got it done. But, you know, I know from the way you work out that you can take 3 minutes off that.
Yeah.
100% you can take 3 minutes off that. And he's like, right, okay, well then I will. So he did it again the next day, and he took 2.5 minutes off. I said, no,
fuck off.
There's your time. There's your time now, because this guy, every time he goes into the gym, he goes mental for it. And he just didn't have a benchmark to do it before. Remember the very first time burpees were in, me and Limo got all fucking scientific. Got the bleeding maths board out. And start going away at it, you know. So we did that this time. And I put up my one, and it's great then having such a machine like Paul on our team. So he was like, hey, check it out. If you switch that with that, then, because I had the rainbow plates after the burpees or before the burpees. He said, no, keep one in the middle and one at the end, because that's shoulders. Apart from that, it doesn't matter which way you do it. You know that way? Totally. And then another guy said, well, what I'm going to do is he has the plates with the holes in the middle. You know them plates?
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm going to use them plates for my squats.
And then into the raises over the head. Yeah.
So in each transition, you're saving 3 or 4 seconds there.
Yeah, totally.
So now that we're all going together on it, it's lethal, the times that we're getting and the way it's being done.
But that's the power of environment, man. Like, this is why every once in a while, I don't do challenges like that often, but I'll throw them in every once in a while because they require a bit more organization and a bit more thought. Like, every week, there'll be a new challenge that I'll put into the group that people can sink their teeth into. Sometimes it's to do with training. Sometimes it's nutrition. Sometimes it's fucking, sometimes it might be just something in your lifestyle, mobility every morning, meditation every morning. Fucking could be a gratitude diary, could be set your intention and organize your day challenge. You know what I mean? Whatever it is, but we made a team challenge. So everyone, that's the environment. You think about working out by yourself. Okay, now you're working out with a group online and now you're all comparing times. Now you're working out in a group challenge where now you've got a week to put up the best times possible, and every team member you're with, all the other chefs are going to see your time. Now, not going to the gym, because that's not an option. Going and fucking training light, that's not an option. Taking it easy on yourself, that's not an option. Because when you show up and you have to give in those times, then it's like, oh man, fuck. Yeah, what'd you do, 20 minutes? Yeah, what the fuck were you doing in 20 minutes, pal? Yeah. And it's plain to see. So that's the power. That's why I've been called the Devils, because I've devised these things. I didn't create chippers though. It's just a fucking workout technique that I've robbed. Because nothing's with me these days, but again, the pleasure remains the same. So as we move into this episode, then this is about owning your failures in order to succeed. This is one of the biggest things that you'll see in the world, where the biggest reason that people stagnate, the biggest reason that chefs stagnate in their life, like you'll get to a point in your career where you're just kind of banging your fucking head against the wall, where you haven't moved the needle forward in your career. You're not moving forward as in terms of accolades or pay or moving on to a higher role. You're not moving forward in your lifestyle. In fact, you're getting worse in your lifestyle. Your health is slipping, your weight is piling on, your confidence is going in the shitter, your energy and your motivation to do things are gone, your family life and your relationships are suffering, your social life is suffering. Why do these things start to happen? Well, the biggest thing that I see is and this is not just you, this could be you, it could not be you, but what I see overall in the industry is it's the lack of owning your failure. Lack of owning failures. So think about any situation in your life, right? When I fuck something up nowadays, right? If I fuck something up nowadays, I have to stop myself from blaming other people. Because when I blame other people or I blame something for my failures, it stops me from succeeding going forward. I'll say that again. If I blame other people for my failures, it stops me from succeeding later on. Okay? So whatever thing you try, chef, like as I said, the weight fucking piles on, you end up in a shit situation. So what you'll do is you'll go to, as we were talking about before this call, Peter, it's like you go to the quick fix, you go to the diet, you go to every chef I speak to, every single chef I have spoken to has tried some bullshit diet that does not work for them.
Try 3 or 4 of them.
You know what I mean? Like, without fail, I didn't think it was that much of a thing. I didn't think that there was that much of a fucking thing. But when you do these quick fixes and basically these bullshit methods of achieving something, right? So you're in a shit situation, you try some bullshit, and when you fail with the bullshit, then you don't take ownership of that failure. You go, it's my job. My job does not allow me the freedom to change my life. This job does not allow me the freedom to lose the weight, does not allow me the freedom to break my bad habits, does not allow me the freedom, and the blame always goes to the industry, and the blame always goes to the hours, and it goes to the thing that you're trying. It's almost like a mystery when I ask chefs, what have you tried that didn't work? Oh, well, I tried this, and this, but I just can't stick to it. I just can't maintain the motivation.
I'm too busy.
Yeah. And it's like, when I ask them, like, why, what do you mean you can't maintain the motive? Like, what happens? So, work gets busy and sure, it's always like that. And, you blame this and you blame that. And never really, like, the real honest answer here is it's you. It's you that made the decision to not carry on, to do the thing that was going to help you. You made that decision. But when you don't own your failures, when you don't own basically your responsibility in any situation. You stop yourself. It's like it's like fucking putting a massive obstacle in your way that you're never ever going to break through. So in that moment where you failed, let's say you tried the diet because you're fucking obese and you're drinking 2 liters of Coke a day and you're picking at shit and you're grabbing bits of end of a fucking bread loaf and fucking scooping it in butter and shit and stuffing it down your gullet, and all of a sudden your body's in bits and you're not in a great space mentally. So you try the diet, and it's like, as a result of that diet not working, the blame gets passed over here. The truth is, if you do not start changing how you think within these situations, Chef, you are going to fucking be doomed to do the same thing over and over and over again, which is the definition of insanity. You'll go from one quick fix to another. Try this, that didn't work, fucking on to the next one, that didn't work. And you apply the exact same fucking thinking that you've done over and over and over again, which is, it's all about the thing I'm doing and it's nothing to do with me. It's all about the thing that you're doing and it's nothing to do with me. Yeah? So
blame is the key word, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's like red pill versus blue pill. Spoke about it before. Red pill, blame the thing that you're doing. Blame someone else. Blame work. Blame the industry. Blame all of that shit. Don't take any responsibility and see what happens. When you take the red pill, your life will fucking fall down around your ankles and you're wondering what the fuck is going on. It's chaotic. You have no control over things. You're constantly, literally victim to your circumstances. You're victim to whatever you're going through, and you feel that you're powerless to do anything about it. And that's a universal truth for all human beings. If you don't accept responsibility and you pass the blame over here, all of a sudden your life descends into chaos. Whereas if on the other side of that, you take the blue pill and you go, okay, cool. Maybe this diet didn't fucking work because I decided after 2 weeks that it was okay to have a rake of pints, a fucking takeaway, and then wake up the next morning and eat a bag of fucking crisps and have a fry up. You know, maybe I should, maybe because I made that decision that, you know, it's my fault. I fucked that up. It wasn't anything to do with my job. It wasn't anything to, no one put a gun to my head and told me that I needed to have those pints and eat fucking garbage. I justified it to myself in my own mind. I justified it to myself. And once you realize that in that moment, that it's like, no, I actually made a decision. No one forced me to do that. I made a decision. Then all of a sudden what that does is it opens you up to go, next time I'm aware that that happened. I know what I did in that moment. Now I'm not going to repeat the same mistake. And now next time you go around it about it, you fucking you do something different and you're successful. You're successful in what you're doing. And when you stop blaming the industry and you start taking responsibility for your own actions, you'll realize that, yes, you are overworked. Yes, you are unfairly treated. Yes, you are fucking, you know, they're not paying you enough. But is complaining and blaming going to do anything about it? Yes or no? No. If your situation is shit, then you need to take responsibility for the situation and go, okay, cool. If I'm doing all these hours and I feel like I have no balance in my life and I think I don't have time, well, maybe I do have time and maybe I'm just not organizing my time enough. You know, maybe I'm not organizing my time. I'll give you an example. When I was at the height of my stoner days, when I was in hospitality, I used to have that same complaint that I fucking have no free time to do anything. I've no balance between work and personal life. And it was because, and I used to blame my job. I used to be a little victim. Oh, it's the hours. It's this, it's that. When no one fucking forced me to smoke all those joints late at night and stay up till 4 a.m. and not sleep properly and then wake up the next day with my fucking head up my hole. Now, because I was blaming something else, I never came to a conclusion that maybe I should make better decisions. If I kept blaming, which I did, I never fixed it. But the second that you start going, maybe I should rethink my decisions. If I made a better choice, maybe I wouldn't be in this situation. But that only comes when you make a conscious decision to take the blue pill, not the red pill. And most chefs take the red pill. I get it. Most of the world takes that red pill. But once you start seeing the world, this is your worldview, red pill versus blue pill, your life will start to change because you're thinking much differently now. You're thinking much differently.
And you can kind of retrain yourself to react to mini fails that can put you in the right attitude for when something big can happen to you. Do you know what I mean? Like the classic of, oh, I was doing so well for like 3 days, and then I went to have a biscuit, and I had a whole fucking packet of biscuits, and I was like, right, fuck it, I'll try again next week, and then next week never comes.
Totally.
Whereas, like what we've been shown now is to learn from it and to fail forward. And when you start that with little small fails during the day, they become a lot less often, and they become a lot less serious. And then you have that attitude when something bigger does happen, like, you know, you do fall off the wagon, or you do have a shit day, and you know what I mean, and things aren't going your way, and you go, right, well, look, things aren't going my way. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to change my attitude toward this, this, and this, and I'm going to do that. And then that's going to stop this fail from happening. And now I'm going to go forward with the knowledge of what has happened before. And what I've found recently, say in the last 3 or 4 months in Sheffield, was when I'm almost learning to feel when it's coming.
Yeah.
Yesterday was an example of it, when I woke up with me fucking head up my arse.
Yeah.
And I was just like, it just wasn't going to go. And I could have easily just had the worst day in my life and fought with everybody and come home and blah, blah, blah. But what I did was I owned it. I said, right, I'm having a shit day. It's nobody's fault. If everybody just leaves me alone. But what I ended up doing was I ended up going home and the old-fashioned therapy of just sit on the ground with your fucking kids and took a nap. Then got up, had an early night, woke up today, fresh to daisy, and good to go.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it was automatic then for that, you know that way.
So that's a change in perception. So like this is understanding what, like, perception. What the fuck does that mean? It means, how do you see things? How do you see situations? How do you see your life? Like when you take the red pill, you see life as a victim, you know? And when you see life as a victim and you act like a victim, when you fail, that failure is like, that's your excuse to fucking go back to the same bullshit you were doing before. Whereas if you take responsibility for your life, you'll realize that a failure isn't a reason to go back to square one. A failure is a reason to fucking improve. Because I view the pain of failure as growth. I mean, it's a chance for me to fucking level up my shit. It's a chance for me to go, what could I fucking do better the next time? And I constantly evolve as a result of doing that and constantly thinking that. But so many people don't. When they hit that failure and they hit that friction where there's like, they're struggling with something. Let's say it's the diet and you've done it for a couple of days. And because you've had one fuck up, it's like, you'll go straight back to square one and just say, it's a load of bollocks. And it's like, no, the way you should perceive things is, cool, it's a blip in the road. Why don't I just get this thing back on track as soon as I can? And that's one of the most important things you can ever do. And that's why I was talking about failing forward at the summit. You know what I mean? And it's like, you've got to be able to fail, learn from it, and move forward. Fail, learn from it, and move forward. Because you are going to fail. You are going to fail. Life's not perfect. Nothing's going to be fucking perfect. You're not going to pull a rabbit out of a fucking hat. It's not a fucking clean sheet. You know what I mean? It's not a clean sheet. You have to fucking, you have to be willing to fail.
Once you've made that fail, instantly it's gone, and now it's a positive thing.
Like, you've no idea the amount of failures I've had since I started Chef Hit. Just small things that didn't work out that I had to learn from. And if I didn't have the bollocks to fucking step forward and go, I'm actually going to fucking risk going through this shit. But the fact that I did, I learned from it. You know what I mean? I learned from it. Everybody that talks shit on a video, it's like, cool. Well, what are they saying? Maybe, you know what I mean? Maybe I need to communicate the message better, as opposed to, oh no, bury my fucking head in the sand, which is what I did at the start, you know? And right now I kind of dissect it. If they're a fucking cunt, they get banned and fucking booked off the page. But I've noticed in the last set of videos that I ran, I could have got all fucking triggered and all of this shit, but I didn't. I actually went to myself and was like, actually, that's a shit video. So I reshot the video and now it's really fucking good, you know? And now it's a lot more positive. And it's like, cool, there you go. I failed initially, though I learned from the fucking failure. I didn't go, oh, ads just don't work. It's like, no, you make a new one, pal. Just fucking rebuild that shit. Same thing in the group. It's like, chefs leave the group. It's like, cool. What do I need to do in order to keep chefs longer? What do I need to build within the fucking systems of coaching and all of these things to fucking retain clients. And it's like, okay, right, now I know what I need to do going forward. Whereas if I had just gone, oh, there's people leaving, this is the end of the world, it's like, and I just would have scrapped the whole fucking thing. It's like, it's not about, no one gives a fuck when you start. People give a fuck when you stop. Yeah? No one gives a fuck when you start. They only care when you stop. Like when people, I see so many, even like chefs that, you know, and they talk this big game starting out, but they give up so easy. You give up so easy. And because you give up so easy because you don't own failure. You don't own it. You don't go, this is the situation. This is what the fuck up was. This is what I'm going to do next time to fix it. Instead, what you're thinking is, oh no, it's the end of the fucking world. This is pointless. And then it is pointless if you think like that. And it's game over at that stage, you know? You are what you think. And if I perceive a situation to be salvageable, I'm going to salvage that situation. And if I perceive it to be dead and nothing in it, then I'm never going to do anything with it.
Mm.
That's a really important thing to carry forward, because in your journey, and I encourage every chef that listens to this and every chef and Chef at Elite, it's like,
you've pulled us out of it a couple of times as well.
Totally. But everyone has those moments. I've had those moments. Everyone's fucking human. But you've got to learn, like, perseverance is a skill. To be able to persevere, not just persist at one problem, to persevere. Like, there's plenty of times where I've wanted to give up. And if I had to give it up, I never would have had the benefits of running an amazing fucking group and doing what I love and fucking waking up with a fire in my belly. Never would have actually reaped the fucking fruits of my labor if I had given up. Do you understand? Perseverance is a skill. It's like, it's a trait that you need to have as a human. And what I stress to every one of you and any chef that does Chef at Elite, it's like, you are going to have struggles. You're going to have pain. It's not going to be easy. You're going to have failures. You're going to have weeks where work gets mental and your routine is thrown off. You're going to have days where you're not motivated. You're going to have fucking, you know, and in those moments, that's the fucking, you know, that's the measure of the man or the woman, where you can fucking go, okay, cool. This is the issue. This is what I need to do to grow and learn from it. That's really fucking important, because
this is what is after happening. It's time to go. Time to move on.
Yeah, you're standing on the shore and you're watching a fucking wave, you know, come in. You're not going to be able, you can't stop the ocean. You can't stop the wave crashing in, but you can affect where you're standing in relation to the wave. It's like, if you want to stand in the fucking water and let the waves submerge you and annihilate you, cool, go for it and see what happens the rest of your life. You're going to feel like you're fucking drowning in a world of your own bullshit. But if you make the decision to actually take a couple of steps back and stand on the fucking land so it crashes in front of your feet as opposed to over your fucking head, then all of a sudden you're clean, dry, and you can move forward. Yeah, you can't affect the wave crashing on the beach, but you can affect where you're fucking standing in relation to the wave. So where are you standing in relation to the wave? You know, really, where are you standing in relation to the wave in any situation? Is it an argument? Is it something going on in work? Is it a fucking problem you're having in your lifestyle? Are you struggling to be consistent in any goals that you're trying to achieve? Like, what is it? It's all about perception. And the moment that you start taking ownership of your failures and taking the blue pill is the second you start changing it all. But if you keep with the fucking red pill and you keep doing that same shit, which is blame, 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 and point the finger, then you're always going to feel like a fucking victim and your life is going to be terrible. You know, simple as. It's as simple as that, my friends. Any remarks in closing, Peter?
Yeah, just don't throw your fucking rattler out of the pram at the first little blip in the road. You know, that's it. We're lucky now because we have a massive group of people, and once we express where we're failing or what we're after doing, we've got this big massive support group. Like that wouldn't have been the same with me before. I mean, when the failures happened, what I was doing was what I just said, throwing the fucking rattler out of the buggy, because I was like, well, I'm done now. That's it, you know?
Yeah. 100%. Don't throw the toys out of the pram, because then the toys are out of the fucking pram, you know? It's all about control. Like, it's funny. Like, we have so much more power than we think. It's all in your mind. It's all in your fucking mind. You are what you think. You think, therefore you are. Like, it's all here. And it's how you perceive. And if you can change your perception of shit, if you can change how you perceive situations and everything in your life, you could change your life literally by changing perception. I want to say this. You literally can change your life by changing your perception. For me, I had to learn to take ownership, and I had to learn how to be grateful. That's a state of mind, to be grateful. I was never grateful. I was always resentful. I was always a victim. I always my parents didn't fucking, provide enough money within the family, and they never fucking, you know what I mean? And I never had any backup. So I always had to struggle financially. I always had to fucking make my own money and work full-time jobs, and it's like I had this story my whole fucking life. And when you're clouded by that, frustration and that angst, which is a choice that you're making a choice to feel that way, right? You're making a choice. I made a choice to feel that way. When I had to learn, I learned how to be grateful for things. And I remember waking up one morning when I was during running Chef Fit, and I realized, because amidst all the stress, I was treating it like everything else, where it's like, I'm not enjoying this. And then I realized one morning, it was a sunny morning, it was summer, it was like 6:30 in the morning. It's like fucking sun is shining, and I get up, and it's like I'm going to the fucking gym to create space. And then I'm coming back and I'm reading and I'm doing my fucking videos. And it's like, actually, this is fucking great. And then I'm doing a round table and I'm talking to a lot of really cool fucking, chefs who I really, really fucking connect with. And I'm grateful. And it's like, I get that feeling. And it was actually a state of mind. And it was all about how I perceived things. I could look at the stress. I could look at the pressure. I could look at the what ifs. I could look at the what if this doesn't work out? What about that? What about this? And I can end up in this fucking swarm of my own bullshit, or I can choose to focus on the positive. And that's all how I perceive things. So again, look at your failures as a means of growth, as opposed to a fucking knife in the guts, and you'll change your fucking game.
Don't play the blame game, fail forward.
Exactly. Thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel, 5-star review on iTunes, share this fucking podcast on every social media platform you have, and tag a chef who needs to hear this message. There's a lot of yous out there. Tag them if they need to hear the message. I'm telling you for a fact, pal. With that in mind, that's our episode for today. Booyakasha! Stay safe.